Hi YouTube, Paul and Daisy here, day 67 of our blog, another Future Friday, and we're going to go back in the future again and pick up where we left off last week, end of 2009, beginning of 2010. So one thing that did happen is I started working for Zarnowski. I worked in the union shop doing a union gig. So I was making like 32 bucks an hour, and then I took some night shift thing and made an extra $2 or $3 an hour. Anyway, it was a very, very cool gig, and that was at the end of 2009. And so now we own the trawler, and it's sitting in San Pedro, California. And actually, the marina it was sitting in was actually a pretty nice marina. We ended up keeping it there for probably, I don't know, 3 months. It was 3 months-ish. And then I was working at Zarnowski doing my union gig. And the house is just about done, and we know all this. And the only thing we own right now is the boat. So one weekend we go down to California after we get through with numerous projects here, and I'll put some of them up here. You can see us. We're redoing the doors. We started redoing the woodwork a lot. One thing about the boat that we really sold us was the fact that when you walk down into it, it just didn't smell like a big old greasy diesel oil pit, which a lot of them do, especially in that price range. You know, this guy was it was realistically probably a $35,000 trawler. It had a few issues, but not many. I mean, it was in pretty decent shape, and it just didn't have that smell. And so that was a huge selling point for us. So anyway, we get in the boat now. We take it over to Long Beach one weekend, and that's where we continue to slip it at Shoreline Marina, and then we also sign up for a liveaboard permit. So, and at that time, we didn't realize what was going to happen. We didn't know, we didn't know exactly what was going to happen. So I'm working at Zarnowski. We're working on the boat every weekend. We're doing projects on the boat every weekend that we can. Zarnowski was a big handful, and it required a lot of time. And the house in Vegas we're still living in it. So don't ask me how all this happened, but the timing was absolutely perfect. So we got our notice for the house. I have to be out of the house, and I get laid off at Zarnowski, and this is like May of 2010. And we also got a call from the marina down at Long Beach, and we got our liveaboard permit. It all just happened like, I don't know how, I don't want to say magical, but it all just happened. Because when you live down there on your boat, and that's your primary residence, you have to have liveaboard status. There's kind of ways around it, but you'd have to have an address outside the state, and then you can go visit your boat, and you can visit for a certain amount of time. But to get a liveaboard status, you pay a little bit more money. It was, I think back then it was $750 a month. That included our slip fee and our liveaboard fee. The slip fee was about $550, and then the liveaboard fee was another couple $100. So yeah, I am correct on that. And so it was $750, and that's just to help pay for the electricity, little taxes, and using the parks and stuff like that. So anyway, here we are. I get my layoff papers from Zarnowski. Now we have, the boat is paid for, it's in Long Beach. We get a phone call saying that we have our liveaboard permit, and I got my layoff paperwork, and that is in May of 2010. So when all that happened, I wasn't exactly sure what was going to happen, but we got in our car, we went and visited my wife's parents for a little while, for about a couple weeks, and then we headed back to the boat. And now we are full-time living on the boat in California, just living the dream. And I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to share some pictures with you here of me and Bev. And the two dogs. Back then we had Sail and Sky. And Sky wasn't the biggest walker, but I think she liked it down there because it was nice and cool on her paws. And Sail loved the dinghy. She loved going for rides in the dinghy. Here, I'll show you a couple pictures of it. That dog she was ready to go when I was going. Now, Boo Boo didn't really care about much of anything. You can see right here, this is her paw. This is when we were moving the boat from San Pedro over to LA. She stepped down on her paw wrong, and so we had to put it in a heating pad, and that's the way she sat while we were driving the boat back from San Pedro over to LA. She's just a mess of a dog. Anyway, you can see them both here sitting at the door of the trawler, and they were great dogs. Sail didn't really enjoy it as much as Boo Boo did, but she did okay with it. I think she just got a little nervous when I started the motors. I hope this one does a lot better because she's going to see a lot more traveling with it. And I may get another sister to add to her. And I'm really, when I'm looking at this next boat here, you guys, I found another boat here, and you can see it right here. I'm really concerned about having that space for her and being able to let her outside where she can just lay on the deck. So it's important to me that I have deck space for her. It's a place for that, if she has to go potty on the boat, she can do that. So all these things are important to me, and I've got to be careful. That's why I don't really necessarily want one of those with a complete enclosed back area, because it protects her, but it's also a living area, and I want to try and avoid that living area and give Daisy a little area that she can have a place to walk around, sniff, enjoy the air, and be safe at the same time. So I'm thinking I need that rear area with a little bit of deck space for her. That's why I really like the Offshore 48. But this new one right here, you can really see it. It meets all of my categories, and it starts getting into that Nordhaven type style of boat, and I just freaking love that. I'm not particularly fond of the engines in this particular one, but if anybody knows anything about this boat, if anybody's ever owned one, anybody's ever been on one, anybody's ever seen one, it's the first one I've ever seen, especially in that year. It is in my price range, and I could afford to do that, and not go back into the house or go into an RV. I could just go right into that boat. So, but it does need fuel tanks, which to me is not a big deal. I know where to get fuel tanks. I know how to do it. It'd be interesting to see what I had to do to get to the fuel tanks that are in the existing boat. Anyway, Paul Bates and Daisy, we're going to leave it at that. So just a bunch of stuff going on. Also my tender, my dinghy that I got, I was going to put an electric motor on it. That's what I shared. I picked it up last weekend. But now I'm thinking I'm going to do a 8 or 10 horse power motor on it, and then I have to get a trailer for it if I really want to be able to haul it. But there's two reasons I'm doing that. One is if it's my sole tender for the boat, dinghy, I'm going to want that 10 horsepower because I'm going to want to be able to get somewhere very, very quickly. If it's just my spare dinghy just for something quick, I really just want a 5 or 6 horsepower motor because I want something lightweight that I can just take it and mount the motor very, very easily, take it on and off, and the boat just slips up on the back platform like my other one did. Anyway, Paul Bates, Daisy, we love you guys. Peace out. Be good or be good at it, and we will see you Monday for another Money Monday. We took last Monday off because it was a holiday, and we're enjoying our time with Bev. We're also got a couple bites on the houses, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, Paul Bates, Daisy, peace out. Love you guys. Leave your comments, subscribe, hit that like button. We sure do appreciate our 10 or 12 watchers. We're losing more subscribers than we can shake a stick at, but we don't even care anymore. Anyway, Paul Bates, Daisy, love you guys. Bye.